Hello again, Trevor here with the professional performance wellness team. We're going to do another menu update. We've run into some issues with our other camera, so we're trying a new format today. So I'm going to speak a little bit louder than usual because my microphone's over there with you. Today we are doing Paste Primavera with sausage. You can use turkey sausage, you don't have to use sausage, you can use chicken if you want it. But we have a protein, and we have our vegetables. The vegetables included with this Primavera, it's not a traditional, it's a more westernized version, but we're using just your garden variety. Squash, yellow squash, zucchini, tomatoes. The most important thing, we got some onion and garlic here for the acid, and there's a little bit of bouillon involved. We're going to throw that over on top of some pasta. So it's a real hearty dish. It makes a lot. We're going to feed 6 guys here tonight with this. It's relatively cheap. It's relatively easy. Most of your time is spent doing the prep. And again, I want to stress, get fresh vegetables. Use fresh garlic. Use fresh ingredients. The nutrition value is so much better than frozen, pre-sliced, whatever. So you spend a little extra time in your prep, and then the product is going to have that much more bang for the buck, if you know what I'm talking about. The nutrition level's better, flavor's better. The love that goes into it is noticeable when you're talking about prepackaged, boxed, fast food versus a homemade meal. So it's definitely much more beneficial to make food for yourself. If you were making this for yourself and only for you, this type of meal right here would give you approximately 6 to 8 servings. So you could stash a little away in the freezer for a rainy day, or spread it out over time over the course of a couple of tours. So that being said, again, what I wanted you to notice is the amount of vegetable to the amount of protein that I'm mixing. It's going to go on pasta, but so I have about 16 ounces of a protein here, and then I have probably close to 3 pounds of vegetables. So it's heavy on the vegetable, and that's what we want to lean towards. We don't want you necessarily, you don't have to become a strict vegetarian or a vegan to get more vegetables in your diet and reap the benefits of that. The antioxidants, the nutrients, the fact that you are eating more vegetables than meat, say, instead of adding 3 times as much meat versus 1 serving of vegetables. So we want to flip that upside down and end up with more vegetables than meat. So as we get this prepped up, I have fresh basil, okay, not dried. Pulled this off the plant this morning before I brought it in to work. We've got onion from the produce. All of this can come out of a simple garden that you could do yourself. It's not anything super fancy. But like I said, once we get this prepped up, what we're going to do first thing is we're going to brown the meat. Then we are going to, and I'll show you this procedure when we get to that step, is we are going to saute the vegetables and the garlic and onion. We're going to add some bouillon and make a little bit of kind of a sauce or a gravy. It's just for flavoring mostly, and then we'll put it on the finished pasta and be ready to eat. So we'll be back in a little bit. Here we are. I've got the onion and garlic has already been browned, slightly softened, and then we got the vegetables in here. They're going to simmer for a little while. We want to soften those up. Thinking again, when we're talking about fresh ingredients, I did this myself. I'm not using dry basil. Get a block of your Parmesan cheese rather than buying the pre-grated cheese. All of your pre-grated cheeses, even the stuff you sprinkle it on your tacos and whatnot, has an anti-caking additive in it. They also have another additive in there to keep it from molding. And those are additives that you're putting in your body. So for the best way to enjoy your cheeses is to get it with the block and then slice it or grate it yourself. And that goes for all cheeses. Shortcut on time. You can get the pre-grated, but just know that you're adding that also into your recipe as you're shaking, anti-caking agents, and other additives in there that you really don't want in your food. The whole point is to eat clean, eat whole foods, eat healthy. So I've got some seasoning, got some red pepper flakes, and our pasta, which is going to go in the water as soon as we get it going. So we got a few minutes before we get to that point. We're just going to keep our vegetables moving around. Now look at the colors and all those flavors mingling together quite nicely. As we reduce this a little bit, it's going to, the water in the vegetables is going to come out, and that's what's going to give us our base for our sauce, if you will. It's not really a sauce per se, but it does put a nice glaze on the pasta and everything when it's finished. We're going to add the chicken bouillon to that for flavor. It comes out quite nicely. So, heating water for the pasta. Maybe we should turn that up a little bit. Here we go. Get that going. And so we're halfway there. It's pretty simple. Oh, we had browned the sausage and pulled it off, let it rest, let it drain, and to remove the excess grease and fat that you don't want. And again, you can use chicken instead, or you can do it without any protein source and go with just all vegetable. That is an option as well. Okay, great. Well, we'll check back in with you as soon as we put it all together. Where we are is I have just pulled the pasta out of this pot. I'm draining it. I left the heat on. Okay. And we're going to take the pasta now, put it back in here with a little bit of olive oil. Okay. Some of that water left over from the boiling is good. It adds a little bit of starch. It really beefs up your gravy, makes it super creamy. So here is the vegetables. We're going to add this in. Get a good mix on it. See that? Marinate nicely. And then we've got the sausage. Protein. And finally, no dish would be complete without a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Again, everything fresh, everything hand prepared, and it just makes for a better product. You see that the juice of the cooked down vegetables and the bouillon make a little bit of a gravy. It's not like a super sauce, but it does glaze everything quite nicely. It looks like the vegetables cooked down pretty good. They should be still slightly firm, not mushy. And just a little bit of heat to get a little bit of heat back into the protein, the sausage, and we're ready to eat. So that's it. I hope that you enjoy this recipe for yourself, your family. Remember, heavier on the vegetable, a little bit less of a meat, and then you've got a nicely proportioned, nutritious meal. If you need to tweak your diet or your nutrition a little bit better, see a nutrition for people being able to sit down and work with your own body type to come up with a nutrition plan that works for you and the goals you are setting for yourself. So keep it up, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you next time.